here are the Mad Max movies ranked. So there's 4 movies. Let me get this out of the way. My top 10 moments of the franchise actually came out before this. And I thought I got this video done. It said it was uploading. Something happened, so I'm really mad at that for whatever happened on it. So now those 2 videos are flopped. Or switched on my channel. But whatever. So, anyways, here's my ranking of the movies. At number 4, easily the worst film in this franchise. It's Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. I liked it that there was a functional town in the desert now, and the Thunderdome battle was actually pretty cool with the weapons. Other than that, the story feels like 3 different movies. Max is in the town, and then he meets the tribe of kids, and then typical Mad Max car chase stuff. Those are the 3 different movies in this movie. There's not enough action in the movie. It's just the Thunderdome fight and the typical Mad Max car chase at the end of the film. And it just feels really long and really boring. So, easily the worst movie in this franchise. Number 3 is Mad Max. The original Mad Max, I really don't find this a classic. The first 15 minutes of the movie is good, with cars driving and they're on the road, flying and crashing, and that's good. And I was kind of interested and kind of invested with the love story of Max and his girlfriend and where that's all gonna go. But, again, other than that, the movie doesn't feel like a post-apocalyptic world. The movie is slow. The movie just does not look like a wasteland. I didn't like it that we don't get to see Toe Cutter get killed, because, like, he's kind of the main villain in this movie, and we see Max kill someone else, so it really doesn't feel like Max gets to avenge his girlfriend, so it was just really weird. And that's just the word to describe this movie, just weird, and not even in, like, a good way. So, moving on. Now, my top 2 are movies that I really like. The bottom 2, movies I cannot stand. Top 2, really good. So, just a disconjointed franchise overall. So, number 2 is Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior. The world is actually desolate, it's dirty, uncivilized, that's awesome. It's more entertaining than the original. It's actually a bit darker than the first one, too, with people tied to cars as being, like, armor for the cars. Why? I don't know. But, I mean, like, that's just such a messed up way. That's just such a messed up thing to think about, which is actually kind of good for the movie. The villains are much more memorable. The guy with the mohawk and the non-Jason Voorhees guy with the hockey mask. So villains, memorable. The action, really good. A bunch of cars flipping over and crashing. So I really like the action in this movie. This is what I wanted the first movie to be. A much more action-centric movie. So I really like that. One mixed aspect is the story, and this franchise has always just struggled with story. First movie, interesting, just not really that good of a story. Third one, 3 different movies. Even Fury Road, which you'll obviously see up at number 1, not enough story. This one, again, kind of going with Fury Road. The story, to a degree, the story is very simple, and I don't think there's enough character development for Max or the kid or for anyone, really. Not many character arcs, but it's easy to follow, so I could give or take that. I don't know. So I could use some character arcs, but at least it's easy to follow. And the only two negatives for this film is there's a scene that's not well lit, so it's hard to see who's who and what they're doing. And I feel like it slows down in the middle. So it gets a little boring in the middle before it ramps back up in the climax of the film. So, but those are two pretty small negatives. This is a sequel that improves on the original, so I really like it. So, Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, is actually a really good movie. I'd put this in my top 40 movies of all time. And with that said, I would also put my number 1, Mad Max Fury Road, also in my top 40 movies of all time. First off, cinematography, awesome. Easily the best of the series. Oh, and let me mention for Mad Max 2, although it is old and it dated and it looks dirty, it works for the film. But this is such a different film for Fury Road. The cinematography actually looks really good. The cars are really cool in this, with the guy playing the guitar, the spiky dune buggy. There's flamers. Immortan Joe's car at the end is really cool. And Immortan Joe is a really good villain. I think he stands out. The action, best positive of the film. It's awesome in the film. There's cars crashing, blowing up, guns being shot. Some of the best action I've seen in probably any movie ever. So I really like the action in this movie is just awesome. There are two super small negatives. I don't think there's enough story. It's just them leaving the town and then coming back to the town because there's nothing out there anyways. There's apparently nothing out there. So, story. Could use a little more story. Could use a little more character arcs. And the other super small negative is Max in the muddy blue sky scene or whatever when the truck gets stuck. Max leaves, apparently kills a lot of people. One of the girls say, "Hey, you're bleeding." Furiosa is like, "That's not his blood." So he killed a lot of people, apparently. And it's like, I think that could have been a cool scene to actually see. You could have seen Max kick their butts, and you could have gotten a very good, brutal fist fight instead of just car action. But those are very super small negatives. Mad Max Fury Road, I'd put that in my top 40 movies of all time, and it's easily my number 1 favorite Mad Max film. Thanks for watching.